Years, the gay community has used bars as safe spaces, a place they can go, socialize, dance, and let go of their troubles. Shootings like the one at Club Q, even the Pulse nightclub shooting in 2016 has made those safe spaces feel dangerous. New this noon, Rex Fuller, the CEO of the Center on Colfax, here to talk about building those safe spaces. Rex, thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me here and for acknowledging this anniversary.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly a tough day for a lot of people across our state and really everywhere in the LGBTQ plus community. Can you talk a little bit about the history of bars as safe spaces for the LGBTQ plus community?
Sure. Well, for many, many years, that was really the only place that people could get together. They were sort of underground spaces for a lot of the time where people felt that they could get together and sort of not be in the spotlight. In many places for many years, same-sex relationships were actually illegal. So it was another place where those types of relationships could be protected.
Yeah, kind of lived out to their potential in a safe space, right?
Right.
You know, of course, today is a tough day for so many, and these shootings have kind of changed that feeling of safety in these places that are supposed to be. For, people having those fears and working through that, what do you suggest? Do they find a new space? What can they do to overcome some of those fears?
Well, I think that the reality of gun violence is something that we're all having to live with, unfortunately, because we do have many shootings in many other places. So I think there's the typical sort of warnings of being aware of your surroundings and understanding escape routes or things like that. Yeah. But really, I think it's coming together as a community and just committing to not committing acts of violence and to maintaining a peaceful, welcoming environment.
You know, we had a story just a little bit earlier in the show about the new protections that are needing to happen in our clubs and our bars to make people feel a little bit safer. What's the pulse that you have on folks that you talk to? Is that making them feel a little bit better in our local bars?
I think that by and large, the bars in the Denver community are considered pretty safe by most people. I think that really it's just the reality of having to deal with the possibility of gun violence wherever. I mean, yeah. We've had shootings at movie theaters, at grocery stores. So it's a reality that we live with.
It's unfortunately not confined to one area. It's really everywhere, like you just said. Of course, today is also Trans Remembrance Day. How is the Center on Colfax honoring those victims today?
Well, for those who aren't familiar with it, Transgender Day of Remembrance is an annual day when we remember individuals from the trans community who died from violence. And this year, 25 people in the United States have been recorded as having died somehow violently. This evening at 6 o'clock at the center, we're having a gathering for the community to read those names and remember those individuals and to try and create a safer and more understanding and tolerant environment for everyone.
That's great, Rex. For anyone who wants more information on the Center on Colfax, wants to get involved, wants help, how can they get in touch with you?
Probably the best way is to visit our website, which is lgbtqcolorado.org. We have a schedule of events and lots of other support groups available for folks who are in needing resources.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today. And as always, the wonderful work that you're doing at the Center on Colfax.
Well, thanks very much for having me.
Of course.